Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about Danny's Tiamat deck. Now this is a very special one to him. Danny has the entire 20-something years I have known him. He has been just a huge D&D fan, so he looked forward to the set for quite some time, and he pulled that Tiamat. It's pre-release Tiamat, uh, hence the stamp there, and went to work on building a Tiamat deck. So Tiamat for 2 in Wooburg. For those of you that got the Dominaria box of crayons, 7 mana for a 7/7 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you search your library for up to 5 dragon cards not named Tiamat that have different names. That's not a problem in our format. Reveal them and they go to your hand. Then you shuffle. So, obviously this is a dragon deck, but he has done some amazing things here. So let's look at our mana ramp here. Has just like all the great stuff here. We have Is It Signet, Arcane Signet, Mana Vault, Burgeoning. Burgeoning is a beautiful card. It gets better the earlier you can cast it, right? Gilded Lotus, the Immortal Sun, right? Your spells cost 1 less to cast. I mean, yes, it does cost 6, but And it's a Personal Howling Mine. And it's, yeah, you see what I'm saying? It does 4 really good abilities. Jessica's Will. I'm telling you, this card generates mana like Mana Geyser does. It's one of those, wow, I can't believe it does that much. The Great Hinge is a wonderful card. Now, I did put Fist of Suns in here as in the mana ramp section, because if you've got things that cost more, 7, 8 mana, you can spend 5 for them if you've got Wooburg, which he probably will have. And then Tiamat puts those dragons into your hand, right? So Belbay's Portal, choosing dragons, and then the Quicksilver Amulet just to dump them into play at instant speed, mind you. That is one of the aspects that I think a lot of people forget, is that they can do this at instant speed and have surprise blockers. And there's nothing more, oh my gosh, than surprise dragon blockers. So let's look at these dragons, shall we? This is the who's who of dragons. We have Velomachus Lorehold. I swear to you, if I ever have a fish, like a little goldfish in a tank, I'm going to name it Velomachus. Teneb the Harvester. Niv Mizzet Perun. The Broodmate Dragon. He brings a friend. Green Dragon. Eben Death Dracolich. Belladros Witherbloom. Now, this is a beautiful card. To me and Danny were talking, the only problem with this card, I think, is that it's just a little dark, so it's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on, but it's beautiful. Inferno of the Star Mounts. Bladewing the Risen. You may return target dragon card from your graveyard to play. That's strong. Adult Gold Dragon. Because he pulled every version. It's a beautiful icing death, is it not? Oh. Kokosho. Gadrak. Shadrick Silverquill. Shadrick. That's the name of a bunny rabbit. Obsidian Charmaw. Terror of the Peaks. Goldspan Dragon. Hellkite Courser. Immerstrom Predator. Love those full arts on the dragons. The blue dragon there. The Vengeful Ancestor. Dromar. Now, there's some synergy here that escapes a lot of folks. The ability to bounce. Yeah, you're probably, in multiplayer, you're going to be able to pick somebody to get the damage in through, right? But that choosing a color, now granted, Dromar itself is 3 colors, so if you choose one of those, Dromar goes back. But the ability to reset certain things is kind of neat. But the dragon that makes the whole thing scary is Karthus, Tyrant of Jund. This is, I mean, I quake because with the D&D set coming out, there are a lot of decks. The amount of dragons in decks has gone up. And the ability to, I'm going to take them all. Hence the bouncing thing, right? So if you steal all the dragons and they're like, ooh, I was waiting for that to get over with, I can play my dragons now. Yeah, I'll draw mark and just bounce Karthus and start it again. Yeah. Now, he does have a level of dragons here that, what I call early turn dragons. Changelings. Kind of, necessary to fill in the lower part of the curve, because the last thing you want is to have no creatures for the first 5 turns. So, so you're easy pickings for those one-shots. But Realm Walker is just a great card anyway, because you choose dragons, and then you get to cast dragons from the top of your library. Okay. Taran Mauler is just a great card in multiplayer. Mirror Entity, you get enough mana, everything is scary. Chameleon Colossus, that's a nice one. And protection from black, just cause. Then of course, Morphon the Boundless. Question for you. Fist of Suns and Morphon, doesn't that make everything free? Well, all your dragons at least. Because you choose dragons when Morphon comes into play. And then, spells of the chosen type cost Wooburg less to cast. Now, Fist of the Sun says you may pay Wooburg as an alternate way to cast those spells. Yeah, that's pretty strong. So, he has Maelstrom Nexus. This is card advantage. That's just all there is to it. The first spell you play has Cascade, so each turn you're buying one, getting something free. Guardian Project. It's a neat card for Commander. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name, draw a card. Well, it's not gonna. The coat of arms is nice. That's that's old school. I'm going. Yeah, the game's over. I got enough dragons. I'll send one at each of you. Good game. And then his wonderful tutors here. He's got the 1-2-3 shot, the Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, and Grim Tutor. Now, Heroic Intervention, kind of necessary on any deck that you are relying on creatures. I say necessary. There's a lot of decks I have that don't have it because, let's face it, it's not... Heroic Interventions ain't falling off trees. Neither are Teferi's Protection, Anti-Wrath, Sylvala Stampede. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's talk about Lifeline. Now, Lifeline is a beautiful card. Don't see a lot of play because it is old. It's on the list, and we had Lifeline out that I played against this deck in one game, and Lifeline really did some work. I like Lifeline. I love it with sack outlets or random stuff like Shriek Mauls and Mole Drifters and whatever, but this thing will keep your dragons alive. And if Tiamat happens to die, you can put it to the graveyard, and it'll come back at the end of turn, and you'll get 5 more dragons in your hand. That is beautiful. Let's look at some removal. It's 5 colors, so I mean, it's got the good, right? Path to Exile, Sword to Plowshare, Crozen Grip, Mortify, Vindicate. Now, a lot of the dragons are removal in and of themselves, so all of this is just in addition. Casualties of War, And of course, the most flavorful one, the Crux of Fate. Now, we have 42 lands in the deck. It's a little more than I use, but you know what? For a 5-color deck, that's probably spot on. However, they are all non-basic. So what we are going to have to do is, there's not a lot of room left here, and since we're going to show you every single land, stack the rest of that deck there. Oh, can we not with the glare? Okay, so we have Exotic Orchard, City of Brass, Training Center, Rejuvenating Springs, Mistgate Pathway. Oh, those full art pathways are so beautiful. Reliquary Tower, Sacred Foundry, Tide Channel Pathway, another beautiful one. Never mind. Ancient Ziggurat, Morphic Pool, Undergrowth Stadium, Woodland Cemetery, Sunken Ruins, Necroblossom Snarl, got the pre-release version, Fortified Village, Sea of Clouds has beautiful artwork, Mana Confluence, Cedar Step Pathway. Those pathways really do a lot of work in 5 colors, because you get to pick which one you want. I really like those. That was a really good inclusion, Danny. Steam Vents, Mirrodin's Core, Rogran Triome, Bountiful Promenade, Isolated Chapel, Command Tower, Sulphur Falls, Hinterland Harbor, Vesuva, because it's going to be the best land on the board, right? At any given time. Temple of the Garden, Vault of Champions, Watery Grave, beautiful Godless Shrine. That's an original Godless Shrine too that's foil. Nice. Flooded Grove, Clifftop Retreat, Botanical Sanctum, Rootbound Crag, Celestial Colonnade, that's a nice one, Slitherbore Pathway, Zalgoth Triome, Hollowed Fountain, Indotha Triome, Twilight Mire, and lastly, probably most importantly, Cavern of Souls. So that is Danny's Tiamat deck. Played against it once. It did dragon things. I mean, it did. By the way, Danny, just a reminder, definitely shuffle. I do appreciate y'all watching. That's what we have got for today, and we will see y'all tomorrow.